Okay, folks, this really has been amazing. The bats have just been pouring over our heads. We're going to take a look at the cave right now, and then we're going to take some of your questions too. But Fran, here you are on this side. You switched up on me. Oh my goodness! Tell me what's going on.
It's wonderful. You can see millions and millions of bats are just pouring out of the cave. They can't get out as fast as they want to. They're filling the whole bowl of the sinkhole with this literally a tornado of bats right here in front of us. And they're streaming right almost over our heads as they fly away. So.
And it really just sounds like rain. All of those
Right.
little wings just beating and the breeze that they're building. Just incredible. Just incredible. Okay, and Fran, you've got there are so many bats here that you can actually see them on radar.
Right,
and
yes.
You've got some stuff to share with that.
We have a little phone app that you can put up, and there's so many bats coming out of the cave right now, they're actually showing up on the Doppler radar that we have. And so when you look right here in Central Texas, you can see this in the video as that red and the white is even more intense as millions and millions of bats are pouring out of Bracken Bat Cave all at one time. So you can just see that cloud get bigger and bigger and bigger right over here over Central Texas. So it's a really spectacular emergence.
Great, great. You know, we're going to take some last questions now. We sort of hate to wind this up, but our time is drawing near. And we've got some great questions. Thank you so much for sending in these great questions. And I have one from Madeline in Wisconsin. Do all the bats come out of the cave to find food each night, or do some stay in the cave while the others are finding food?
There's a chance that some of the bats, we don't know how many because it's real hard to count them, but there's a chance that some of the bats don't go out for dinner every night. But if they're hungry enough to come out, there's no room service in the cave, so they've got to come out to get food.
Great, thank you, Fran. And Julie in Granby, Massachusetts asks, if we put up a bat house, do we have to do any maintenance with it?
Jim?
Jim?
Oh, no more than you need for a birdhouse. Every winter when the bats are gone, you should take the bat, you should look at the bat house, inspect it to make sure it hasn't got any cracks or damage to it. Clean out any spider webs or wasp nests you might find, and make it ready for the bats to move into when they come back in the spring.
Great, thank you. Thanks, Jim. And another bat house question. Danielle Smith in Cupertino, California asks, should you install more than one bat house, and if so, how far apart? Are you the bat house guy?
Well, Danielle, if you can install more than one bat house, that's even better. Because even if the bat houses are identical, some of them might have slightly different conditions inside. If one gets the morning sun faster than the other, for instance, it will warm up faster. So giving the bats more options is always better for the bats. It gives them more choices. They can move around, and you have a much higher chance of success. How far apart they can be depends on your property. I wouldn't put them more than 10 feet apart or less than 10 feet apart, but we've had a lot of success sometimes with bat houses on a pole, just even back to back on the same set of poles. So it really doesn't matter.
Great, thank you, Jim. We've got another question from Chippewa in the Children's Forest in Texas. Do babies remain attached to the mother the entire time before they can go out on their own?
Yeah. This particular species of bats, the mothers, for the first couple of days, can fly with the baby because they're still small. But after that, the baby gets too big. So that's why they put them in that nursery section of the cave, and these Mexican free-tail bats.
Great, thank you.
But there are other bat species that will carry their young out. Red bats, for instance, and red bats will have multiple babies, not just singles. They'll carry them for a long time. And sometimes whenever it's a really bad storm, and it's windy and the mother's struggling to carry her almost fully grown babies with her, she gets tired, and people find them on the ground that way. And Diane gets quite a few of those in whenever it's baby season for the red bats.
Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. And we have a question from Marquezia in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Do bats ever sleep at night and then fly during the day?
Take it?
Can they know the species?
Depends on the
There's a lot of
species.
different kinds of bats.
Bats don't sleep all day long. They're actually active off and on during the day, but their most active period is at night. You know, and they've evolved to avoid predators at night. Most of the predators are using vision to hunt, and so by bats flying around in the dark, they really avoid those kinds of predators.
Jim?
Okay.
I just want to add to that if you do see bats flying in the day, especially during the winter, that's one of the symptoms that the bats are suffering from white nose syndrome. So that is not unusual if it's in the wintertime when most bats are hibernating to see them. If they're flying, they're actually one of the symptoms of white nose infection.
You want to contact your local wildlife expert.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you know, our very last question from tonight is from Debbie in Milano, Texas, the great state of Texas, who's hosting us here. What can I do to entice the bats to come to my property?
Say, give them a good bat house. This is one of the best things. Bats don't ask for a whole lot. Main thing is to leave them alone, leave them in peace. But if you especially want them to come, build them a good bat house. And BCI's 20 years of bat house research is for the benefit of all. And you can find free bat house plans and guides on our website at batcon.org.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. You know, thank you so much for those great answers to the great questions that you've sent in. But I'm afraid that's all the time we have for this evening.